guys! So I am going to talk about my community. I chose to talk about the county that I live in, which is Luzerne County. So I currently live in Hanover Township, which is part of Luzerne County, but it's very, very small. So Luzerne County is broken up into different sections in Pennsylvania. There's the southern part of it, which kind of includes Hazleton. It's kind of a little bit, even though it's southern, it's higher elevated than most parts of the Wyoming Valley where Luzerne County is located. The North River, which includes Wilkes-Barre, which is one of the most popular cities of Luzerne County. The Pocono Plateaus, which, include Harvey's Lake, Red Rock and Sweet Valley. They're more of like the country-esque areas. And then there's the South Valley, which is Shipshinny, Mackinac, all of that. They're kind of closer to the river. So the demographics of Luzerne County, our population is around 316,000. It's 80% urban and 20% rural. So the rural parts are more so like the Back Mountain. There's a town called Dallas. The Shipshinny parts of it, they would all be more so rural, and then majority of the population being urban would be in the major cities of Luzerne County, Hazleton, Wilkes-Barre. There's also towns called Nanticoke, Pittston. They're all major cities of Luzerne County. The population is predominantly Caucasian, like severely Caucasian. 83% of the population is Caucasian. 10% is Hispanic or Latino, mostly populated more so in the Hazleton area. Only 3% is Black or African American, and then 1% is divided among Asian and 2 or more races. So it's safe to say that it's predominantly white females in Luzerne County. It's kind of split evenly between male, but more so female, being 50%, male being 49%. The most common practiced faith is Catholicism, followed closely by Protestant. So there's a joke in our area that there is a church, a bar, and a pizza parlor on every single corner, and that kind of stands true across Luzerne County. And most of it is the Catholic faith. The quality of life in Luzerne County is known to be very, very poor. We're ranked one of the most depressed places to live in the United States. A lot of that stems from the huge drug and opioid problem around here. So where Luzerne County is located, we are kind of smack in the middle between the major cities of Philadelphia, New York, and New Jersey. And we used to be known for low cost of living for homes and housing. So a lot of people migrated in from the cities, and with that brought a lot of drug problems, particularly heroin and prescription drug use. So in 2018, there was 156 overdoses in Luzerne County alone. I mean, Pennsylvania as a whole is suffering from an opioid problem, but Luzerne is pretty hit hard. And our Governor Wolf declared us in a state of emergency due to the drug problem in order to allow social services to continue to try and stem that with the resources that they have uninterrupted. Police task force have been trying to crack down with drug trafficking, and a lot of the busts have increased, but we're still seeing a rise in overdoses due to fentanyl and still the prescription drugs floating around. Wilkes-Barre, Hazleton, and Nanticoke in particular were ranked in worst cities for overall consumer debt, drug and alcohol use, and mental health issues. A lot of this stems from the history of Luzerne County that used to be a very profitable coal mining town, and when the mines shut down, the area became very, very depressed. There wasn't a whole lot to take over, and it's never really recovered from that. And the citizens that live here are typically around the age of 40. That's like the median age. And it's just not a very good quality of life. The overall health department has found that there's higher rates of cancer, heart disease, and diabetes, both in hospitalizations and overall death in Luzerne County. The poverty rate here is 15.2%. So that's 15.2% of the Luzerne County population that lives below the poverty line. And the sad fact is that there aren't enough resources to kind of go around to help these families out. So a lot of families go without, or they have to rely on, food pantries or community resources that might not be there. The CDC survey from 2018 showed that 98% of adults reported alcohol use in the past 30 days, which is pretty alarming. We also have a lot of environmental risks. As I said before, the county was known for coal mining, so a lot of the environment is very polluted. Before there was environmental laws in place, there was a lot of mining accidents where a lot of the byproduct and the sulfur was leaked into the Susquehanna River, and we also have like a nuclear power plant around here. There's just a lot of pollution, specifically in our water. We also have a rise of natural disasters in our area, particularly flooding. Our area was hit hard in 1972 by Agnes. The Agnes flood was a horrific natural disaster that caused devastation, and it seems to be with the rise of the storms and the hurricanes, we tend to be flooding a lot more. Back in 2011, the water in the Susquehanna River broke the levees in Luzerne County, both in Kingston and in 40 Fort, and the entire area got flooded, causing millions worth of damage that we're still trying to recover from today. We also got hit by a tornado, which is becoming, it's not funny, but it's becoming a lot more common in our area. This past spring we had a significant amount of touchdowns of tornadoes, but Wilkes-Barre in and of itself was hit by a tornado that wiped out an entire strip mall full of businesses. Luckily there were no casualties, but it caused a lot of damage, and the area itself suffered financially because of that. And we're still trying to recover. The crime rate is 47 on the crime index, so that's a high crime rate. A lot of it has to do with drug trafficking and the high drug use in our area. There's a lot of robberies, a lot of break-ins, a lot of assault that goes on. It's just not necessarily a safe place to live. So a lot of the important institutions in the area, one of them is Children's Service Center, which is a huge human service agency. It's a nonprofit in our area. They're located in Wilkes-Barre, and they service all of Luzerne County. They have offices from Hazleton all the way out to the outskirts in Tunkhannock in the rural areas, and they, over the past couple years, have been working really hard to make it a one-stop shop for children and adults for mental health, drug and alcohol, and pharmacy. There's also WVADS, Wyoming Valley Alcohol and Drug Services. They've been expanding for counseling due to the drug problems related in Luzerne County. As far as employment goes, the Hanover Industrial Park is one of the highest paying employment opportunities in our area, and that's factory work like Adidas. Chewy is another big one, and that's a huge bulk of our employment. Another part of the employment is the Pennsylvania Commonwealth, so the local prison systems, the state police, state offices such as the Office of State Inspector General. They also are some of the higher employed here. And the local colleges. So we have a lot of local colleges around here in the cities that employ the highly educated. Other than that, most people have a normal 9 to 5 that doesn't usually pay very well. They think the median average salary in Luzerne County is $45, which is lower than the national average. And the Catholic Church, obviously, despite all kinds of scandals that have occurred, is huge in our area. So all of these help to service the people in our area. They're all severely underfunded or have limited resources for what is needed in our community. The community assessment, after reading Seeking the Good Community article, to me, I would not define Luzerne County as a good community to live in. The article explains that in order to have a good community, safety needs to be present. Obviously, with our crime rate, safety is not present. Goods and services, a lot of our community lives under the poverty level and don't have access to a lot of goods and services such as, mental health. Despite, the nonprofits, they still don't have a lot of access to it because of the high turnover rate and the lack of funding and employees. So they're on waiting lists for services such as case management or counseling or TSS that they desperately need. A lot of families don't even have money for clothing or food, and they rely on, churches and food pantries for that, and even those resources are very limited. Commonality of values and goals. There's a lot of racism in our area. As I said, we're heavily Caucasian, but it's very divided between, older set values of racism and newer values where everybody is searching for equality, more so in the younger population. And then opportunities. There are not very many good paying opportunities around here at all, especially if you hold an education. Ways that I would improve the community, obviously the human service opportunities. I would try to get additional funding for that and expand the human service industry in our area. It's desperately needed. We need to get trained professionals in there and get them the pay that they deserve, so this way we can service the community better as a whole. Community events to bring everybody together under one goal, possibly more town hall meetings for people to voice their concerns and, work together to bring the community back. And obviously we need a whole lot of advocacy just in the area of jobs, trying to bring in better businesses and job opportunities, better healthcare systems, better mental health systems. There's a lot of advocacy that needs to be done because a lot of the funding has been cut. So, it's a huge undertaking, but those are just the places that I would start. And that is a little bit on Luzerne County. Thanks for listening, guys.